event. I think the reason that a lot of people were here, the fight that has stolen a hell of a lot of headlines, that's had a pretty turbulent build-up, you would say. Ben Shalom, finally here. Feels like all arguments are finally settled now. It's been a pretty hot couple of weeks for you and the office and admin, but it is 10 rounds. And how excited are you, and probably a little bit relieved that we're now moving forward to Sunday?
I'm excited. I mean, it's been a long time since October. A lot has happened. To be fair, this was the fight that we wanted as soon as that night finished. And so to get it on Easter Sunday, 20th of April in Birmingham, and to have this level of interest, as you say, the controversy, the rounds, it's all done now. And we focus on a story that has just built and built and built. Ben Whittaker, after 9 fights, the level of interest in this man's career is off the scale. And yeah, I think Sunday night could break viewing bigger records. That's how much interest is in this fight. Liam Cameron has played his part. He's the underdog story. He's done extremely well to get here. And I couldn't be happier for him as well, having this opportunity and this platform and this payday. A great fight, a great story, but it'll all be settled on Sunday.
It's really who wants to go first. I'll probably come to you first.
Talking.
How has that sat with you? I would say perhaps the times that I've worked with you, don't like to do too much talking, but you're top of the bill here. There's so much intrigue and interest in this fight. You've had to do a fair bit of talking. How confident are you in everything that you've said and everything that you've predicted?
I've wished for this. I keep saying, as a 9-year-old kid, I bought my first boxing news. I might have been 8-year-old. And I dreamed for these moments. And how can I complain? I'm here. I'm ready. I'm in a lot better shape. So may the best man win. There's no hard feelings on anything I've said or done. So let the games begin in the ring now.
In terms of mentality, though, I'm interested. First time round, I think there was less pressure on you. There was, in a number of ways, I don't want to be disrespectful, but the Ben Whittaker show rolled into town in Saudi Arabia. There was a lot of eyes on the phenomenon and the social media numbers and everything like that, and maybe you came out the shadows a little bit. Now you're in the bright lights, and there is a degree of expectation on you. Yeah. How you're coping with that this time round?
I've got off for Britain. I'm not, obviously Ben's got his supporters, but I've got way more supporters what want me to do the job. I've won lottery. I've absolutely won the lottery. It's been mad. I'm just buzzing. I'm absolutely ecstatic. Big word for me, but...
Do you feel, you gave us a line yesterday, that by getting the fight over 10 rounds, that's a 1-0 win to you?
Yeah. They've paid me an absolute fortune to get it from a 12 round. I would have just said, if I were Ben, I'm fighting you 12, I'm going to psychologically edge that, because he could have called my bluff. I could have been wanting to do 10 all this time. But it is what it is. It's 10 rounds, 6 minutes less.
Do you think last time that he was not giving you full respect, but this time you should be prepared for a better Ben Whittaker? Can he be better? Can you be better? I suppose in a number of ways, do you have to be?
Well, everyone's saying how better Ben's going to be. When I boxed Ben, I had a year in the ring. Now I've had, is it been 16 months? So I've had an extra 6 months in the gym. I ain't been on holidays to Dubai and stuff. I've been in that gym, so I've given myself the best opportunity, and I've grabbed every opportunity I have with both hands, and I've made the most of what I can get, and that's where I am.
You said that you built him up to be a monster in your head last time. Now you've shared the ring with him. Do you fear him as much? Do you surely have to build him up to be a monster again to get the best out of yourself? Yeah. Or am I well off here?
I'll put myself in a frame of mind, a mental state where I'll be scared. I'll be that scared dog in that change room, and that brings the best out of me. If I'm confident now, but like I want to get into that scared feeling.
I'll come back to you, Ben. It's here now. I mean, I think that when both of you went over the top rope, that it had to happen again, and here we are, top of the bill. Hell of a lot of intrigue around it, a lot of focus on you. Would you concede that there is pressure on you, either from yourself and your team or the outside noise that you do feel the pressure to deliver on Sunday?
Firstly, I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, because if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be here. And just like Elvis said, man, once a soldier, always a soldier, so I'm ready.
Talk me through the changes that you've made. Obviously, now with Andy Lee, what has been different this time round?
Well, firstly, we're in Ireland. We've got structure, and it's been a great camp. He's a great person to be around. I'm picking up things, I'm learning things, and it's a great person to be with.
What about mentality-wise? Did you perhaps take your eye off the ball last time round, that you were looking past him, and how do you guard against doing the same again this time?
I believe that was the best chance to get me, and he didn't. Now Sunday, it's all fresh, it's all new, and we'll see.
You haven't been asked about it, so I will. The 10-12 rounds debacle, he says if he was you, he would have called the bluff and said, I'll box you over 12. What is your take on what was a lot of headline writing about 6 minutes?
Well, last night I got told it was 8. You know what I mean? So
Can I stop you there? Please don't.
I thought it was an 8-rounder, if I'm honest, you know what I mean? So I don't really know what the rounds will be, but we'll see.
Would you be confident enough to say you don't need 10? That makes a good headline.
And listen, we've done all the work in the gym. We've done many, many rounds, and we'll see.
What did you learn about yourself first time round?
That I look good even on the floor.
Do you have a direct message for Liam? I think the line in the gloves are off. I mean, there was a lot there in terms of the backlash. You know, you lapped that up and said, I am that guy. That's why they're talking about me. Do you need to deliver on Sunday to confirm that you are that guy?
Yeah, there's no need to, I will. I've got nothing against Liam. Like I said, it's just another fight. I'm happy what has happened to his career. But sadly, we end that Sunday.
What's your take on that?
It's come beyond disrespectful at this point, but like I said all this last time. Do you know what? Just may the best man win. And I've done my training. He's done his. He's had 6 weeks with Andy Lee, and that's it. May the best man win. I'll shake his hand when we stood up there. He can accept it or he can't.
In terms of linking up with a new trainer, can you tell us just one thing that maybe you've worked on? Because there is that old saying that when you link up with a new trainer, it may well be 1 step back before you take 3 steps forward, 2 steps forward. How much have you changed a physical approach, and how much have you and Andy Lee been just looking at things from a mental point of view? How much in 12 weeks can you change, 16 weeks?
Yeah, I guess you'll see that on Sunday, but it's funny, a lot of people only think we started working together when we announced it. We've been together for a good while now, and that's what a lot of people don't know. We announced it when we announced it, but trust me, we've been in the gym. I've been over Ireland for a while, been going back and forth, so it's all good.
You're both confident, obviously, and you've both had your say here. What will be your message? You'll say, when I win. I'll say, if you win, what will your message be to people?
I don't want to give it all away, but trust me, everybody that's picked that side, stay on that side.
And what will your message be, Liam?
Just thank you for everyone who's been involved, each side it's ever been. So, yeah, thanks for everyone turning up. And it's been magical, and we're going to put on a big show.
Ben Shalom, I invite you, perhaps one final thought from you before we let everybody have a face-to-face and one-on-one interviews.
It's here. Final tickets at boxer.com. I think we've got about 1,500 left in the whole arena. It is unprecedented, I have to say, for a fighter after 9 fights to be headlining shows like this, live on Sky Sports, Super Sunday, Easter Sunday. Make sure you're there.
7 o'clock Sky Sports action, and also on Sky Showcase. We're going to break now, just 1 minute of patience, because I think they're going to move some tables out, and then if everybody stays relatively in their seats, you'll get your shots, and there'll be one-on-ones afterwards. Thank you very much for joining us. Tomorrow is a ceremonial weigh-in, so public are welcome. I think I'm right on it. Public are welcome, so come down and watch it.
Johnny, your thoughts? What did you make of particularly our main event fighters, Ben Whittaker and Liam Cameron? It was pretty civil.
Yeah, we're still none the wiser. We probably expected some kind of amazing one-liners from Ben. I think Ben he's been humbled, and I do believe it's probably bothered him and hurt him that there's one side or another. So it's his job to, and I'm quite sure Andy Lee said to him, look, you've got an amazing talent. Make sure you make the most of it. Don't be looking back in 10 years' time thinking if only. So I think he's just got a more serious approach. Well, he has got a more serious approach than what we've seen before with him.
We touched on it beforehand, and Matt, how much you know Andy Lee and what he will add to Ben. But also, I guess, what his sort of style is in terms of how will he take sort of Ben's showboating and such like.
I mean, that's not. Andy wasn't like that himself, but I think he'll enjoy it and laugh it, and because also Ben Whittaker really isn't that type of guy, really. Anyway, when you speak to him, when he's out of his persona.
There's a very different. There isn't there. There's a very different Ben Whittaker outside of the ring to the one we see in or in fight week mode, shall we say?
Yeah. So I think the real Ben Whittaker and Andy will get on really well, and I think when he puts on the fight mask and goes all flash, I think Andy will just laugh and realise that's his boxing persona. Style-wise, like I say, I think Andy will be trying to get him to sit down and shots more, look to generate more power.
When you spoke to Ben yesterday at the open workouts, Ben was saying also what a sort of the mental side of things that he's gone to Andy Lee for as well, and how much that will help him, and that's maybe more of the change for him than anything else.
I think it's 75% for any fighter. That meant the mental attitude, the mental approach when you get into the ring, that makes or breaks a fighter. And I think for him, it's just about, he knows he's talented. He knows sometimes you can run away with yourself, and that's what he did. He ran away with himself, and to me, the performance that I saw in Saudi from Ben Whittaker, he boxed as though it's a done deal. This, I'm going to steal the show, and he neglected what got him there in the first place. Yeah, and he's neglected that, and in doing that, he almost paid the price, and so that's why he's been humbled, and that's why mentally he's got to stay on point so it doesn't happen again, because he gets through Sunday night and he starts getting some amazing wins again. What stops him developing amnesia and doing this again at a higher level? So if this was to happen, it's better it happened now than later on down the line when there's a lot more at stake.
Ben has said that back in October it was the worst version of himself, but he thinks it was the best version of Liam Cameron. What do you think to that, man?
I think there was an element of him underestimating him. I think he possibly overtrained or got the weight a little bit wrong. You know, he got pretty tired pretty quickly in a fight. He was unraveling, which was alarming, really. I don't think that will happen in this fight. I think he won't be. It's impossible for him to overlook Cameron in this fight now. I think he'll have the right amount of fear, the right amount of nerves. The pressure will bring that. You know, in a lot of ways, his career it's on the line, really, in terms of where he was, what he projected himself to go on and achieve and to be a star, etc. That is on the line here. If he was to lose, you know, it would be, I'm not saying at the end, but it'd be a long road back.
It's a steeper hill to climb, isn't it, for Ben Whittaker should he lose? In terms of Midland talent, there's a real showcase, isn't there, on Sunday evening?
Yeah, well, Sam Eggington's always a fan favourite. He's in a good fight with Lee Cutler. I think that will be. I fail to see how that will be anything but a good, hard, tough, entertaining, action-packed fight. Obviously, Tyler Denny's always in great fights. And then on the sort of stream part of the card, there's some good fights on that too. Yeah, particularly Ballinger here. He's the brother of Michael McKinson. You know, his dad trains him. Good boxing people. Well schooled. Good respect there. Both of them spoke well of each other, didn't they? That they were aware of each other, and you know, unfortunately their paths are crossed here and they're against each other. But I think this will be a good fight.
Earlier on we saw Coleman against Goldsmith get on stage, and Coleman's story, I liked it, even though Goldsmith's from our gym in Sheffield. I like Coleman's story because what he's done with his career, fighters don't do it anymore. I did exactly the same thing, and I thought he's a handful. This kid's going to be a handful. Now he's back on home turf. It's a tough fight for Goldsmith, and I like that fighters that are willing to do that, and not many fighters will do that these days. That's a good fight to look out for.
And it's a stage that they all want to shine on Sunday evening. Just to remind you, we are on air from 7 o'clock on Sky Sports Action and also Sky Showcase as well. So it is your Sunday evening entertainment sorted. Tyler Denny getting up here. Elvis Ahorga, I mean, he won over a lot of fans, didn't he, when he fought Callum Simpson? He came in at short notice, and I think a lot of people really warmed to him, didn't they? And he's got this opportunity again against Tyler Denny.
Well, he's a character for starters. Very funny, very outspoken. You can't but notice him. You know, he makes sure you notice him. And then in the fight with Simpson, he talked the talk, but he did go in and try and walk the walk. He didn't beat Simpson, but when I say
it a good go.
He gave it everything he had. He gave it a right good go. He didn't just roll over or quit or anything like that. And he was out of his depth really, but he didn't stop trying. And you know, this one with Denny, he's not as big as Simpson, doesn't carry the power of Simpson. He may be able to make this a more competitive fight.
What do you reckon, Johnny, in this one?
I think Elvis is naturally the bigger man. Remember the weight we saw him in against Simpson with. Now he's going to go in there, and I think his strength and his aggressive style will make this a hell of a fight. And I'm a massive fan of Tyler Denny's, but
he's done it the hard way,
he's done it the hard way, but he just needs to be smart, needs to be cute, because this in the fight with Elvis might be too big, too strong, so he's got to box, bash, and make sure he sticks at it. This is a tough fight for him, because in there with a naturally bigger guy.
It's one of those fights that Tyler Denny can't afford to overestimate him, can he?
Yeah, he can't afford to, and I love the story of Tyler Denny, and you know, when he won the European title, I went backstage, I had a word and said, look, buy your house, you know, get yourself out of your flag. You know, he's packed his job in, but he's invested in one or two other things. I love to see fighters being successful where people don't expect him to be. I think he was overachieving in his career, and he keeps overachieving. I love seeing that.
He loves being the underdog as well, doesn't he? He thrives on that.
Makes you a better fighter.
Yeah, in terms of this one, Fraser Clark then, very much on the comeback trail from last October when it was, Matt, it was a brutal injury, wasn't it, in the fight against Fabio Wardley. No one saw that one coming. Takes on Ebenezer Teta here. Fraser, to me, looks very trim, Matt. Looks in really good shape.
Yeah, I thought so as well, and I said that to you. He looked slimmer, trimmer. Look, you know, again, we talk about Ben Whittaker's career being on the line here. Certainly for Fraser too. You know, with I think there are question marks over how he will bounce back from the defeat against Wardley, because it was a pretty bad, traumatic knockout, wasn't it? And there could be demons there.
I was going to ask that, as a fighter, for both of you really, when you have suffered, you know, an injury to that extent, shall we say, how much does it play in the back of your mind when you get back in the ring?
When fighters watch a fight, and even they are shocked by a knockout stoppage, you know it's bad. So and I don't care what anybody says, they are going to be watching Fraser when they box on Sunday night, just looking for the slightest thing that doesn't seem right. They've been thinking, how's he going to react when he gets hit? You're going to be looking for that because of what we saw. We all saw it. We weren't even ringside for that, but if you're at home watching that, and if you're at ringside, you knew how bad it was. Yeah. So there's a concern there. Fraser seemed a bit disgruntled, a bit upset that people are doubting whether or not he can bring it back. But he's got to understand it's coming from a good place, not coming from a bad place. So I'm just curious to see how it goes.
Which could play into his favour in the ring on Sunday evening, because that could give him the extra fire in his belly, you know, to prove the doubters wrong.
Maybe, but also if you're his opponent, once you know it can happen once, you know it can happen again.
Yeah, just touching on who we just saw up there facing off, Sam Eggington and Lee Cutler. I mean, Andy touched on it, Eggington, 2 fights of the years he's been involved in. I don't think we've ever seen Sam Eggington not in an exciting fight, and Lee Cutler too, so it does have the ingredients to be, I
would say it's almost a cert that fight's going to be a humdinger.
What kind of Ben Whittaker, Johnny, do you think we're going to see on Sunday?
Well, I'm not feeling them boots he's got at the moment, but
Oh, I've just seen them.
I think this Ben Whittaker will be of a more serious attitude, a more serious approach, regardless of what is said or what we expect or what we're used to. He'll be more serious when the bell goes. He'll know he has to get everything in play. He can't afford to give Liam Cameron any chances at all, so it's got to be on point. Don't disrespect him thinking I'm going to walk through you. He's got to use his intelligence thing. I'm the better boxer and the most unorthodox boxer. I'm going to show him what I'm good at and why I'm good at it.
For Liam, Matt, he had 5 rounds to download what Ben Whittaker was like. What do you think he learned from that fight?
Cameron.
Yeah.
Well, if it's the same Ben Whittaker, he'll know he can get to him. He'll know he can hurt him. He'll know that he fades. But I also think Cameron knows that it's unlikely to get the same Ben Whittaker. For whatever reason, I think he said last time he put himself in a place where he was a scared dog, didn't he? So he built Ben Whittaker up to be this person, because that's how he performs better when he's a bit scared.
But that was quite interesting, wasn't it? Liam Cameron saying that he needs to have that sort of scary monster in his head, and that he'll take himself to that place in his dressing room on Sunday before the fight.
Even fighters like Mike Tyson need to be put in that fearful situation to box to the best of your ability. The ones that are complacent think I've got this done, they make mistakes like Ben Whittaker did. And so when that complacency comes, that's dangerous. That's more dangerous than going in there fighting like a cornered animal.
Can you see it going the distance?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think he probably will go the distance. I think it'll be competitive, whatever way it goes.
Johnny, what do you think? Can you see it going the distance? Does Ben he need to put on a show? We know him as a showman. We know he loves to showboat. But does he just need to get the win and do it well, or do we need to see sort of a Ben Whittaker full-on style out?
We're going to have to wait a while for that transition with him and Andy Lee to come to fruition. I think it'll be a hard points win for Ben Whittaker, which is a good part of his learning as a professional fighter.
It is one of those fights, isn't it? It has a lot of intrigue. A lot of people are fascinated to see what is going to happen second time around, and it's a brilliant undercard as well. Johnny, Matt, thank you for your company. Tomorrow, as Andy mentioned, it is a ceremonial weigh-in. That is at 3 o'clock. We'd love your company for that. But as for Sunday evening, the show itself, 7 o'clock, Sky Sports Action, and also Sky Showcase. We shall hopefully see you there.